right, so you may have already heard about this news.
New this morning, Netflix has inked a deal with Warner Brothers Discovery to buy the iconic TV and movie studio and its streaming assets, including HBO.
However, there have been some major developments in this story, as well as a lot of small hidden details that you would not notice at a first glance. But for a bit of background, for the past few months, there has been an all-out war going on as to which company is going to buy Warner Bros. Discovery, one of the largest and most famous movie and television studios of all time. For a while there, it was looking like it was going to be Paramount. They were going to be the company that would snatch up Warner Bros., led by David Ellison, the son of Larry Ellison, a good friend of Donald Trump's. Yes, that detail will become very relevant later, which would give the company so much more control over the media landscape that they already have a very big grasp over. However, it was then announced a few days ago that it was going to be Netflix, which was going to make the purchase of the company. However, just today, just this morning, this is breaking news, Paramount has announced that they are going to be doing a hostile takeover of Warner Bros., appealing directly to the shareholders of the company, offering more money than Netflix was for the entire company as a whole. And Donald Trump himself has said that he will be paying very close attention to this matter and that he will be directly involved in the process, which is a little bit strange because now we arrive at the rub. Jared Kushner, Donald Trump's son-in-law's private equity firm, is directly involved in Paramount's purchase of Warner Bros., supplying large amounts of cash funds to the deal. So Trump being directly involved seems like a bit of a conflict of interest, don't you think? But we are going to break it all down for you now, talk about this insane corruption and how, when the time comes, this could put Kushner and Trump in some serious hot water. So watch until the end of the video to learn all about that and see some reactions from online. And do us a favor, leave a like on the video, comment down below, and subscribe to the Raw America channel. We'd really appreciate it. All right, moving on, let's dive in. So earlier today, Axios broke the story. This is all still very much developing, and control of one of the largest media companies on the planet is at stake here. So Axios reports Affinity Partners, the private equity firm led by Jared Kushner, is part of Paramount's hostile takeover bid for Warner Bros. Discovery, according to a regulatory filing. Then Axios argues here why this matters. Paramount is telling Warner Bros. Discovery shareholders that it has a smoother path to regulatory approval than does Netflix, and Kushner's involvement only strengthens that case. Paramount is led by David Ellison, whose billionaire father, Larry, is a major supporter of President Trump. So Paramount is offering shareholders a better deal than Netflix here.
This is an attempt to go over the top and to defeat Netflix, which has offered to pay $27 and change per share for just Warner Brothers and HBO, for just the movie studio and the streaming service part of the house. Paramount is basically saying that it is making a superior all-cash offer and going directly to shareholders in what's known as a hostile takeover bid, and letting investors decide what to do with the future of the company.
So now this extremely publicized and televised purchase, which has direct links to Donald Trump, his friends, and family, has gotten even crazy. Trump even went out of his way yesterday to say that he has problems with the Netflix deal, but now his son-in-law and pal Larry and David Ellison are standing to gain billions of dollars from the acquisition. The corruption here is just completely blatant. The Axios report continues, reading, Affinity Partners was not mentioned in Paramount's press release on Monday morning about the $108 billion bid, nor were participating sovereign wealth funds from Saudi Arabia, Abu Dhabi, and Qatar. Per the tender offer, each of those parties have agreed to forego any governance rights, including board representation, associated with their non-voting equity investments. So here they're just saying that they're not going to have any voting power, and yet they're still going to purchase the company and gain all of the financial revenue that would come from such a purchase. Each of them was also part of Paramount's original Warner Bros. Discovery bid on December 1st, although fellow partner Tencent subsequently left the group. Tencent is a Chinese multimedia conglomerate. It has investments in a ton of different companies across the globe, such as Epic Games, Ubisoft from Software, a lot of video games, but also like Sony and Universal Music Group. They also offer their own like healthcare and have their own like PayPal system over in China. It's a huge company, but sidetrack, we're moving on. The article concludes by saying Warner Bros. Discovery could be the second major takeover Kushner has been involved in this year, having previously played a key role in the take-private agreement for gaming giant Electronic Arts. Electronic Arts, or EA, is a extremely large gaming company, and it was purchased earlier this year by Saudi Arabia, Silver Lake, and Affinity Partners, which is Kushner's private equity company, for $55 billion. And of course, the government has not stepped in at all, because Kushner buying two extremely large multimedia corporations over the course of a year and his father-in-law being the president of the United States does not raise any red flags for anyone at all. But, you know, whatever. It's probably fine that the president's son-in-law is else purchasing multi-billion-dollar deals all the time. Sure, why not? Yeah, why not? David Ellison has even spoken publicly about his relationship with Trump, saying that he is extremely grateful for the relationship he has with the president.
Do you sense that he is in your corner here?
What I would say is I'm incredibly grateful for the relationship that I have with the president, and I also believe he believes in competition.
Your take?
Well, Dana, first of all, I mean, we use this word unprecedented way too much, but it really is unprecedented for the President of the United States to put his thumb on the scales of a Wall Street M&A deal.
Now, whoever buys Warner Bros. Is bad. Like, it's super duper bad. It would be a media giant that we have never seen the likes of before, particularly in the case of Paramount. Because if Paramount wins, more control to the Ellisons, and we have a large media monopoly, larger than one we've seen in decades. Plus, Trump will have direct connections to this new media giant with his friend Larry and David. However, if Netflix gains control, movie theaters will suffer, and many more projects will go directly to digital, and Netflix will have a stranglehold over the entire streaming market. So yeah, it seems like a lose-lose for consumers, but just a win-win if you're a private investor. Great. When Trump was questioned on the deal, he had this to say.
Support the Paramount bid for Warner Brothers. That came
I don't
this
know enough
morning.
about it.
You spoke about Netflix last night, saying you have concerns about them.
I know the companies very well. I know what they're doing, but I have to see what percentage of market they have. I mean, none of them are particularly great friends of mine.
None of them are good friends of yours? Larry Ellison, David Ellison, Jared Kushner, the Saudi investment fund, these are all people Trump has direct and very close relationships with and has previously said that he wants them to do well. Paramount and their bid for Warner Bros. Is directly linked to a ton of Trump's friends, and he was verbally against the Netflix deal yesterday, and now he's unsure and doesn't know about the Paramount one? What are you talking about, dude? Come on. When pressed on this issue, he says this.
So very important to do what's
The
right.
Paramount deal was supported by Jared Kushner, Mr. President. Would that impact your decision?
If Paramount is, I don't know. I've never spoken to him about it. He's really trying to work on Gaza. I think Gaza's his primary thing is Gaza.
To me and everyone on the planet with eyes, it doesn't seem like Kushner is too focused on Gaza right now at all. It looks like he is more focused on this multi-billion-dollar merger with Warner Bros. Discovery. I mean, he stands to gain billions from this, his second large takeover of the year. And by the way, oh yeah, great job he's doing over there in Gaza. I mean, just what a joke of a presidency and of a human being. Many people have taken to the internet to voice their concerns over this takeover. One user writes, so Trump is talking about him personally being involved in deciding the fate of the Netflix Warner Brothers deal and how it's, quote, bad. Meanwhile, his son-in-law is financing the competing offer. There has truly never been a more corrupt administration in U.S. history. Exactly. It's so blatant at this point. Senator Chris Van Hollen writes on Twitter, more grift. The Warner Bros. Merger was already suspect, but now Trump's family is getting in on the act. Jared Kushner, Trump's son-in-law, is now part of Paramount's bid for Warner Bros. Discovery, and they cite him as the reason why their bid is more likely to get approved. This cannot stand. Yeah, I mean, that is blatant right there. That is just so over-the-top obvious. Hey, we got the president's son-in-law on our team, so, you know, he's going to do what we want, right? He's going to do what we want, and they're going to take the deal. I mean, that's like mafia levels of corruption here. And this is the president of the United States, and this is one of the largest, if not the largest, media conglomerate deals of the century, and yet we're just like passing it by, and he just doesn't know about it, even though his son-in-law is directly involved. Another user writes, switch out Jared Kushner for Hunter Biden here. Imagine the outcry. And yet, crickets. And yeah, that's a good point. This would be front page news on every single media outlet in the country for weeks if Hunter was sniffing anywhere close to something like this. But this is the second time this year that Trump has stepped aside while his son-in-law makes billion-dollar purchases, which is directly benefiting him, Donald Trump, and his family. But guys, you're right. I forgot. Hunter had a laptop. I mean, come on. Congress seriously needs to get their act together here and break this shit up. This is not good for the consumer. This is not good for anyone except if you are a greedy investor or a handful of business people at the very, very top. The enshittification of America and our media continues with this deal and will just be expedited if this deal goes through. And hopefully something will be done. And if not now, hopefully in the future, down the line, when Kushner and Trump are out of power, they better have good lawyers because this bullshit will not stand. However, on that note, I think I'm going to end the video here. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end. I really appreciate it. If you like this video or want to see more like it, be sure to leave a thumbs up down below. Comment what you think about this insane merger deal, and don't forget to subscribe to the Raw America YouTube channel. Have a nice day.